The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide. The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide. The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide. 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 Today, Michelle and I extend our best wishes to all those who are celebrating Nowruz around the world. In communities and homes from America to Southwest Asia, families and friends are coming together to celebrate the hope that comes with renewal. To the people of Iran, this holiday comes at a time of continued tension between our two countries. But as people gather with their families, do good deeds, and welcome a new season, we're also reminded of the common humanity that we share.
Okay, you got it. Just go ahead. What the fuck are you fucking motherfucker! I'm a fucking journalist, you motherfucker!
It doesn't make you tough to hurt these people. Let them know. It doesn't make you tough to hurt these people. It doesn't. I don't care about these people. I put in my work. It doesn't lie. It does not make you tough to hurt these people. There's nothing tough about it. Nothing. If you want to go fight, go to Iraq and Afghanistan. But you want to be here hurting U.S. citizens. Where is that in the contract? Where is that in the contract? Leave these people alone. They're U.S. citizens. U.S. citizens. U.S. citizens. U.S. It does not make you tough to do this to them. It doesn't. Stop hurting these people, man. Why y'all do this to our people? I've been to Iraq 14 months for my people. You come over here and hurt them. They don't have guns. They don't have guns. They don't. Why are you hurting these people? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. How do you sleep at night? There is no honor in this. There is no honor in this. There is no honor in this, man.
There is no reason for the United States and Iran to be divided from one another. Here in the United States, Iranian Americans prosper and contribute greatly to our culture. This year, an Iranian production, A Separation, won America's highest honor for a foreign film. Our navies have confronted the danger of piracy, with U.S. sailors even rescuing Iranian citizens who had been taken hostage. And from Facebook to Twitter, from cell phones to the internet, our people use the same tools to talk to one another and to enrich our lives.
We have caught major internet companies in England, Australia, Germany, the United States blocking Infowars.com. If you will notice on most major cable modem systems in the U.S. now, if you type an address in wrong, it doesn't go to a blank screen on your computer. It'll be Time Warner Roadrunner, or it'll be Comcast Cable. And they're running everything through their systems. You go through them as a gate. Your computer is coupled first into their system.
Yet increasingly, the Iranian people are denied the basic freedom to access the information that they want.
The web was built to be free and open. You pay for it with your websites you pay for. The people that are serving you pay for it with their servers and their bandwidth. You pay for it with your internet connection. that they're going to decide what sites you visit, and they're only going to allow a couple thousand sites. And so your computer becomes a glorified cable system. Although they're chopping up the web right now, you had better use prisonplanet.com while it's still available. You better tell your whole email list about the censorship. You'd better explain to them the different, well, there's really more than 20 ways they're killing the web, but there's 6 or 7 main ways that have subsystems of doing it so people can identify how they're being censored, how it's being choked, but it's here.
Instead, the Iranian government jams satellite signals to shut down television and radio broadcasts. It censors the internet to control what the Iranian people can see and say.
Then we got calls, and people mailed us the sheets where the university had screens saying that it was blocked. Municipal libraries, state libraries, university libraries. So this is one form of censorship. Also, we found out of the scores of internet filtration systems that people subscribe to and download that would have thousands of websites banned on it. And we all are included.
The regime monitors computers and cell phones for the sole purpose of protecting its own power.
They're moving to block us, and they're moving to block us because we are having an effect. Let's be clear. YouTube, Google, Yahoo, they all admit for 3 years they are censoring for communist China. They get the list from them and do what they say. You understand? Now they're doing it on a mass scale in the U.S., England, Canada, and Europe. Are we going to put up with communist Chinese style or worse censorship? It's happening.
And in recent weeks, the internet restrictions have become so severe that Iranians can't communicate freely with their loved ones within Iran or beyond its borders.
We have to let the New World Order know we're not going to put up with this and let everybody know. PrisonPlanet.com, Infowars.com, JonesReport.com. These sites are scaring the globalists to death. They are shutting us down. They are censoring us everywhere.
Technologies that should empower citizens are being used to repress them. Because of the actions of the Iranian regime, an electronic curtain has fallen around Iran, a barrier that stops the free flow of information and ideas into the country and denies the rest of the world the benefit of interacting with the Iranian people who have so much to offer.
The head of the Drudge Report today, I swear I read this thing today and I said this cannot be happening, but it is. And this is literally internet companies, civil liberties groups were alarmed this spring when a U.S. Senate bill proposed literally handing the White House the power to disconnect.
You can forget Congress. You can forget the executive. It's all bought and paid for. We've got to take the country and the world back.
I want the Iranian people to know that America seeks a dialogue to hear your views and understand your aspirations.
They want tyranny. They want dehumanization.
That's why we set up a virtual embassy, so you can see for yourselves what the United States is saying and doing. We're using Farsi on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+.
Let's be clear. YouTube, Google, Yahoo, they all admit for 3 years they are censoring for communist China. Now they're doing it on a mass scale in the U.S., England, Canada, and Europe.
And even as we've imposed sanctions on the Iranian government, today my administration is issuing new guidelines to make it easier for American businesses to provide software and services into Iran that will make it easier for the Iranian people to use the internet.
Comcast just got told Friday that they have to stop doing what they're doing, filtering out the majority of the web, and they are saying they're going to disregard the FCC. They don't have that regulatory power.
The United States will continue to draw attention to the electronic curtain that is cutting the Iranian people off from the world. And we hope that others will join us in advancing a basic freedom for the Iranian people.
We need you to make a serious stink about this and get this out to everyone to then illustrate the censorship they're engaging in.
The freedom to connect with one another and with their fellow human beings.
Have to boycott and protest it and speak out against it early on. Now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the time.
Over the last year, we have learned once more that suppressing ideas never succeeds in making them go away.
Well, it's a bill that has received very little attention but may make free speech a felony and seriously restrict your right to political protest. Just signed into law by the president, H.R. 347 gives federal agents sweeping powers to arrest and bring felony charges against citizens engaged in protests where the Secret Service is present.
The Iranian people are the heirs to a great and ancient civilization. Like people everywhere, they have the universal right to think and speak for themselves.
off the page. Felony?
Yeah, felony means more than a year in jail. This is not like a traffic ticket. For standing and protesting, the type of thing that for 230 years Americans took for granted because it was protected by the First Amendment, Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech, has actually been abridged. But legislation the President signed last Thursday, supported overwhelmingly by both parties, with very, very little public debate and very little debate in Congress, basically allows Secret Service agents to decide where there are no free speech zones, not speech zones, no free speech zones. And anybody by the Secret Service can, protected by the Secret Service, can ask those agents to ban protests wherever they are. So I can think of 3 violations: speech violations, association violations, the right to petition the government for a redress of your grievances. What good is free speech if the people in the government are so far away from you that they can't hear you?
The Iranian government has a responsibility to respect these rights.
The fact that the president is going to a hotel up the block should not bar you from standing across the street with a sign or with a bullhorn saying what you think about the president's policy.
Let me say again that if the Iranian government pursues a responsible path, it will be welcome once more among the community of nations, and the Iranian people will have greater opportunities to prosper.
We have the right to speak freely to, about, and against those in the government.
So in this season of new beginnings, the people of Iran should know that the United States of America seeks a future of deeper connections between our people, a time when the electronic curtain that divides us is lifted and your voices are heard.
We have caught major internet companies in England, Australia, Germany, the United States blocking Infowars.com.
A season in which mistrust and fear are overcome by mutual understanding and our common hopes as human beings.
They want tyranny. They want dehumanization.
This is a slow, creeping destruction of some of our basic liberties, and the president signed it in secret.
Thank you. The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide. The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide. The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide. 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 And Eid Shoma Mubarak.
برو ولی هر جا باشی، هر جای این دنیا باشی، یه روزی پیدات میکنم، نگاه تو چشمات میکنم، راز تو رو بیش همه میگم و رسوات میکنم.
با اون همه قول و قرار و پیمون که با من غم زده داشتی رفتی، میخواستی از تنهایی دورم کنی، اما منو تنها گذاشتی رفتی. پس اون همه بعد که دادی چی شد؟ رفتی و بعدتو وفا نکردی، گفتی خدا تو رو به من رسونده، رفتی و شرمی از خدا نکردی.
کردی. برو ولی هر جا باشی،
هر جای این دنیا باشی، یه روزی پیدات میکنم، نگاه تو چشمات میکنم، راز تو رو پیش همه میگم و رسوات میکنم.
برو ولی هر جا باشی، هر جای این دنیا باشی، یه روزی پیدات میکنم، نگاه تو چشمات میکنم، راز تو رو بیش همه میگم و رسوات میکنم.
با اون همه قول و قرار و پیمون که با من غم زده داشتی رفتی، میخواستی از تنهایی دورم کنی، اما منو تنها گذاشتی رفتی. پس اون همه بعد که دادی چی شد؟ رفتی و بعدتو وفا نکردی، گفتی خدا تو رو به من
رسونده،
رفتی و شرمی از خدا نکردی.
چقدر تو مانی مانی به من گفت در گوش من گفت این الان تو گوش من گفت هر کار میکنه دریا ملیس میکنه همچین میکنه وقتی دنبالم میاد با عشق در میزنم این دل صاف مردم پر میزنم قدر مهرونه میخواد حاضر بشم میکنم کفشم پاشنه بلند میفروشه تق میکنم. ماری با بنده قرد کرده، نمیدونه که ضرر کرده، ماری رفته شوهر کرده، نمیخوام که برگرده. من دلم دریا میخواد، من دلم دریا میخواد، ماری من نمیخواد، ماری من نمیخواد.
ماشین پاشو برو الکویت. بشی